Just found myself over in Malmesbury today, so although it's not a very bright day, it's been a while since I did the river walk, so I thought I'd follow the path around. This is the Tetbury Avon, and on the right hand side, well actually right and left hand side, is what was the Abbey House Gardens, which I understand now has gone and is all under new ownership. Bit of a sad story that, but so as the plan says, I am there. I am going to walk all the way along the side of the Tetbury Avon, right down to here, and then back along. This is the Sherston Avon. So if you look at this map, you can see that Malmesbury is virtually surrounded by water. This is the weir, and that diverted the water in the end along through the old mill house here. You can see the abbey just above it. No idea whether the Abbey House Gardens are still being maintained. It looks as if they are. The Abbey House Gardens were the creation of Ian and Barbara Pollard, who became known as the Naked Gardeners, and they did a magnificent job with these gardens. And you can just see in the distance the old tunnel from the railway that used to come into Malmesbury on the branch line. When I turned up here just now, this mock-up of an engine started doing stuff, which I take it is triggered by some kind of sensor. But very nice. This was closed back in the 1960s, this branch line. I can remember walking along here at 10 o'clock in the morning when I had my office in Malmesbury, chatting to various friends in the United States who woke up early at 5 AM. So this is where the river crosses under a road going into Malmesbury. Just walked across the road. This is a rather nice place to live. I was talking to somebody who lived here once who said it was a bit snaky on that side of the river, as it gets all the sun. I always like to go over the stile whenever possible, but there would seem little point in doing that today. This pathway has become a lot better maintained since I was last down here. This old railway bridge has a bit of a dark history. Somebody was unfortunately found hanging here a number of years ago. Right ahead of us you can see what I believe is the only surviving part of Malmesbury town wall. We'll get a better look at that in a minute. The main part of the river goes down below that bank beneath the wall, but here we have a diverted area which would have taken water to the old mill, which is right ahead of us. The bowling green no longer has grass on it, sadly. Times move on, I guess. Well, this was the old mill house. There's still water today, presumably going underneath it, where the wheel would have been, or the grinders or whatever was there. So this is still the Tetbury Avon, and just down below here it joins with the Sherston Avon. I don't think we can actually see that spot. Literally just down past that little area where the ducks are now. This area here can be problematic with flooding, and I've seen the water level at least to the top of that cone, at least. And here you get a better view of the Malmesbury Wall, what's remaining of it. It was torn down after the Civil War, apparently, or most of it was, and a lot of the homes here now are made out of that stone. What a shame it's not still there. Malmesbury would be an even bigger attraction for people to come and see. Lots of steps in Malmesbury, and this is one of the oldest streets in the town, St John's Street. Typical street in Malmesbury with the houses opening up onto the road. Long and thin, these cottages. They go back right back to the river, and their gardens at the back. This is the silk mills, more about later. This old building goes back to the 1600s and was an old free school. This building here, I've seen people being rescued from the upstairs windows in a flood. So this is the River Avon again, and behind it is the silk mills. So they are now apartments, but in the old days they used to make silk there, and that is where the word or the phrase "to be on tenterhooks" came from. The silk was stretched over these tenterhooks, the last part of the silk making process, and you were on tenterhooks just in case it split down the middle. Taken photos by this tree on many occasions. The path is seems to be very well trodden now, and not muddy, but I suppose that depends on the amount of rain, and we haven't had very much rain at all. Nothing in April. Well, nothing to speak of. This is a kissing gate. This little thicket is quite nice. The hawthorn. Sports ground. Abbey in the distance. And just going to get ready for a spectacular but unexpected view. I need to make my way up this hill to the telegraph post on top. So here I am next to the telegraph post in a field of dandelions, and here is the first part of the surprise view. Trees seem to have grown up a bit in the last few years, but you can see Malmesbury there on a hill, the Abbey, but talking of stunning views, what a stunning view this is of Malmesbury. You'd almost think you were in Tuscany or somewhere. Just walking down to Daniel's Well. past the piggery, where it is reputed that Americans used to visit with the some of the Malmesbury ladies back in World War II. This is Daniel's Well, which is well, was the highest point of navigation on the River Avon, going back I guess now hundreds of years, because there are bridges now that nobody can get underneath. Daniel's Well because legend has it that a monk named Daniel used to disrobe himself and swim, or shall we say bathe, here. The bell tower of the Abbey in the distance, and the Abbey itself over the top of the trees. Lovely spot. Little clapper bridge over the river. Not sure how old it is, but there would have been a crossing place here for hundreds, if not more, years. Actually, this has all been repaired recently. The houses in Burnavale, I believe the oldest street in Malmesbury, after St John Street, or before St John Street I should say, have got unusual gardens. People share little patches which are not necessarily right behind their houses, but it's nice to be able to come and sit down here next to the river. And I love the tall building in the background with the two chimneys, owned by a friend of mine. You don't get too many 5-story buildings around here. Lovely character home. Daniel's Well from a different angle. Ducks. I like these houses here, but there used to be a sound of running water, which somebody I know, somebody I live with, might not have been happy with. Oh, a swan. Oh, now it's time to meet the mayor at the summer cafe. As I said, Malmesbury is all about steps, and I'm panting already, just panting my way up into the town, under the Malmesbury mirror. There is the lovely Abbey, partially ruined, as you can see. There are musket shot holes in it that come back from the that go back to the Civil War. The inside of Malmesbury Abbey now being used as a nursery or something by the look of it. And here is the famous Malmesbury Market Cross. Oh, I see the mayor in the distance. Yeah. No chain of office this morning then?
No, good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to
my
see
mate.
you again.